Hello, good morning, Eric.
Morning, Mr. K.
Yeah, so today we talk about uh, something related to environment and environment changes and the effect on our personality. Yep. So I came up with this topic because of one sentence that I saw, which is like based on genetic data, researchers have concluded that environment accounts for approximately 50 to 70% of personality. Yep. So for this one, I think when I saw this, I wasn't much surprised. And also, we have read something related to this, right? Which is our previous reading session. We read a book, uh, Atomic Habits, and then in that book, also, environment is one of the key to form a habit, to change a habit, to get rid of maybe some bad habits. So, so I think today we may talk about uh, our experiences, and I believe that you can share something which is like uh, when you are in Malaysia and then you move to I would call a kind of a totally new environment. Are you?
Mm.
Uh, the environment is totally new to you, right?
Actually, not totally new because the culture is quite similar.
Mm,
Mm.
yep. But the place, the location, uh, a place that you are not so familiar with, and
Mm.
your home isn't there. Yeah, so you go there alone. So would you like share something which you think when moving to a new environment, and something that you can found have changed, or maybe some habit that you have formed more easily compared to your previous places?
Mm. Okay, in Singapore, maybe this is a higher income. This is a high income level country, and then the people. Mm, okay, I'm not sure.
Mm,
Okay, first thing, I'm not sure. Uh, how environment, how the change effect on me when I
mm,
moved to Singapore, because it seems to me not very significant, to be honest. Yeah.
mm. Yep. So how about some basic habits? For example, previously, uh, something like what time you go to sleep, and then what time you wake up.
Okay, after I moved to Singapore,
Mm,
the first 6 months to 9 months, my the time I go to bed and the time I wake up is almost same. It's
mm,
almost same as the time when I was in Malaysia. Mm.
mm,
And you say about some habit, maybe about the eating, about the
yeah,
diet.
you
Yeah,
cook by your own,
because
right?
because this is not because of the environment. This is because I don't have a mom in Singapore, so she couldn't cook. She couldn't cook for me, so I had to buy the food for myself. Mm. I had to eat outside like that. But now I cook. But by now I cook I cook the dish by myself. Mm. If you
Mm,
want to
yeah,
change,
but
okay, if you want to say what is the biggest changes, I think is become more independent.
mm, mm,
Mm.
yep, yep, yeah. Just now you say your mom isn't there, and I think that could be treated as environment change, right? Even though, let's say, you are still in Malaysia, you rent a house, not living with your mom, I think that is also kind of new environment. and also the key that you mentioned just now, independent, right? Being independent.
Yeah. What kind of environment you think is suitable at here? Is it like, for example, I move my house from one place in another place in Singapore, okay, and
Mm,
it is like 15 minutes far away.
mm,
Yeah, so it's around 1 to 2 kilometers away.
mm.
So do you think that environment will change me?
That environment, maybe not so big. For example, when you move away, what is your new location? I mean, what is the people around that location? Maybe your neighbors, or maybe what is some uh, the things that surrounding that building. For example, maybe there has a park there, so you can go more exercise outdoor. Yeah, or maybe there is let's say a, a hawker center, maybe that will make you go to the hawker center more often, and maybe sometimes not cook by your own. Yeah,
Mm.
that something like that.
Yeah, then how can you explain the people who live in the same location? Some don't do exercise, some don't go to park, some don't
Mm,
go to hawker center to eat.
mm. Yep. I think we can bring one concept from atomic habits, which is like uh, when talk about habits, we can come to a cycle, and then firstly, it is something like the trigger, the clue, and then go to desire, go to response, go to reward. So the first step is the trigger, the clue, and I think not everyone respond to a trigger with the same way. Let's say if both if two guys, yeah, they live in the same apartment, but not the same room maybe, or even in the same room, and then there is a swimming pool, and then maybe one guy goes swimming and form a habit of swimming, and the other guy don't. I assume that both of them know how to swim, they can swim, but it doesn't mean that the same trigger uh, make them do the same thing.
Mm.
Yeah, but it's more easily for the one that who actually plan to form a swimming habit or plan to do more exercise. The friction to him is lesser, and he can more easily do that.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, but
Yes.
how this can account for approximately 50 to 70% changes?
Mm. Yep. 50 to 70 is a big number, right?
Mm.
And I think it still can be. For example, if two guys live in the same room, yeah, and if one guy goes swimming every day, and the other guys saw that, maybe if these two guys have a kind of like better relationship, I'm not saying romantic, maybe friendship, and maybe more or less he will be affected by him, or maybe he try follow this friend to go swimming a few times. Yeah, I think maybe we'll have some effects on that.
Yeah, so many maybe.
Mm,
I also
yeah,
can say
yeah.
maybe it may not be true. Mm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but actually you
Okay.
point out
Mm.
something important, right? Which is like uh, environment, even though it has some effects, but we can see even we put the same environment, something else also make the difference, right?
Mm.
Maybe it's the
This
conscious of that guy, healthy conscious, or um, some other things, maybe.
okay. First thing is, to me, I'm the person truly believe environment account for approximately 50 to 70% of personality. I'm the person who truly believe this.
Okay.
Okay. And then the second thing is it comes back to the most fundamental layer of understanding what is environment to you. And I'm the beneficial. I benefit from applying this concept. Yeah, change my environment and change me. But you try to see, when I was in JB, we live in a similar. We live in the same cities, and we are not live too far away, right? And we study in the same college. And you want to say about the environments? Yeah, our environment is almost the same. But what makes the difference?
Yeah, I think the environment can be more micro. Yeah, I mean, even even in the same avenue, yeah, you live maybe next door, the family members, the family culture, the way you work, those also counted for the environment, I think.
Yeah, right. And that is more powerful than where you live. And how about the mental one? The mental environment.
Mental environment.
Mm.
Can you explain it a little bit?
Okay. Do you think?
Mental?
Okay. Do you think? First thing is, do you think environment must be physical?
Environment must be physical. People around you is physical, right? And
yeah. But what? But
mm,
how? But what their actions, what they eat, what they do, what they wear, is almost the same. But the way they share the information with you is different. Their personality is different. Their thoughts, their talk is different. Then you need to understand, is a height or is a weight of the person affect you? Yeah. The people taller affect you, affect your personality, something physical, or actually something in their mind affect you. This is something you need to understand.
Yep.
Everyone have father, everyone have mother. Yeah. Yeah.
How's the father personality?
Yeah. So physical, they are physical person, and if they stand together, you can't differentiate them. From a human perspective, you couldn't say, oh, this is what kind of human, what kind of species. No, they are the same. Just some just some taller, just some shorter, just some fatter, just yeah, they are all human. Yeah, some more beautiful. And but what is to me, is what is in their mind shape you. Is not what their physical body shape you, shape your personality.
Yes. When talk about people, I think yes, I also agree that so-called mental environment is has a bigger effect than the physical.
And also, if you agree this, and if you agree this one, if you agree this logic, and you found that by internet, I have a conversation with you, even though we didn't met, every day. I'm in another country. I'm in Singapore. You're in Malaysia. But every day we have a conversation. How my mind shape you, how your mind shape me. This is also an environment.
Yeah.
And the next thing is, there are so many information on the internet, and what you search will become a feedback loop, come back to you, and you will always looking something that you searched before. Yeah.
Yes.
Because the AI of the YouTube, of the Google, keep pushing you the information, that thing you like to read, you like to listen, you like to receive. And then that information shape you and reinforce you, become more you. Yeah. Could there be also an environment? And also
Yep.
the next is there are so many community we can find from online. Not necessary you need to join the community club offline. Yeah, online also have a lot of community club, also have a lot of group, and also we can subscribe the YouTube channel. This is also a community. For example, you subscribe Lao Gao, yeah,
Yep.
maybe uh the action you subscribe shape you become a person who likes to listen some mystery stories, yeah, or maybe uh you subscribe you s- you subscribe uh investments some YouTube channel talk about the investing, talk about investment, and then you
Yeah.
reinforce yourself to become a person who will spend time on investing. Yeah, this is also could be a mental environment. And try to imagine you subscribe so many people, and each of them have the influence on you.
Yes. Yeah. And actually, you point out you categorize mental and physical. I think it's a good way. And if you look back, maybe a few decades ago, I think maybe physical, uh, maybe mental isn't affect that much. Uh, it can be like when dealing with people, yeah, that is mental. But other than that, the physical still take place much. Nowadays, we talk about internet, even though no matter where you live, and then you are able to access to the internet, right? So all of that kind of information, uh, the the ICT technology already advanced, and yeah, I mean, we can treat them as environment. Yeah. And
Yeah.
those are the mental one which you receive information and then how it affects you.
And how about the book you read?
Mm.
It also could be an environment because I know how book shape me.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just now you say some experience, right? Do you have any
Mm.
experience how environment change you?
Yeah, actually, recently I tried to change an environment. For me, this is just a small change. And uh, if we talk about whether it is physical or mental, I think it is physical. Yeah, I make a physical environment change, which is now I move out from my house and I go to kind of like a small container. Yeah, I'm not sure whether you have encountered that kind of building, but I believe yes. Um, have you seen some coffee shops which is in a container, very small one? It's like a
Mm,
rectangular box.
I have seen them, but is it in the cities?
Cities,
Is it? I mean, is it in the urban area?
urban areas.
Mm. Where
Yeah.
is the
And
location?
do you mean that the shop that I say
Yeah,
told you just now?
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
if I'm not wrong, it is something selling tea. Is it 贡茶 or what? It has
Oh,
a container building,
oh, you
and
mean he used a different material to build the shop? Is this?
actually the building can be moved using a lorry. I mean the
Oh,
container. Yeah, just
mm,
like the container that people put in their products and then to be delivered to be shipped out. They
mm,
use the container, right?
Yeah.
And container can be kind of like can be made to a house. Yeah, if you give it a window, a door,
Mm.
maybe install a toilet, a washroom. Yeah, it can be
Yeah.
a room. Yeah, so I moved in
Yeah.
into one container.
Mm. Yeah.
Yep,
And
and then
yeah. I know this because I have watched a lot of YouTube video that talk about this. Some of them have even built a second floor inside the container. Yeah.
yeah,
And then
for
you move to the the locations. Uh, where is it? Is it you
just
rent?
no, just beside my house, still in my
Oh.
house area, because
Oh.
I'm living in agriculture land. So previously, actually uh, before my new house built, this container exists here many years before my house. So firstly, we use this as something like uh, a, a storage, a storeroom to put things. And sometimes my father also come here to use the office, and the container here also is two floors. Yeah, so
Mm.
the second floor is an office. Yeah, just tables and then chairs, and and the uh, and the ground floor actually is used for storing things. But right now, the things has been cleared out, and then we have put we have put a bed, a mattress. Yeah, so I sleep. Basically, I sleep downstairs, and then I do my work upstairs.
Mm. Yeah, I see. So, you move out from your current house, but the place you live currently is still under your family property, is it?
Yes, yes,
Mm.
yeah.
Okay, I see. I thought you move out from your house
Rent.
and rent some container or buy some container. Mm.
Yeah, no. All right,
Mm.
and uh, we have this place. I mean, we have cleared out the goods that store downstairs is because previously, my father's company actually got the COVID cases. Uh, One of the workers got infected by the virus, and at that time, my father and my brother they come here to sleep. Just something like to self
Mm.
quarantines, so
Mm.
they are not living with us. So the place they already kind of like clear out the things and then put the mattress. So right now they already moved back. Yeah,
Mm.
and previously one consideration is I feel like I often go to the class. I often go to some students' house. So I think maybe my risk is greater than them. So one of the reasons I moved here is also like is also because of that. I
Mm.
think if I reduce the time to stay closely with them, then maybe
Mm.
it's safer for them. Yep. And
Yeah.
the other reason I come here is actually I found that yeah, maybe change a new environment will make me more uh, easy to form some habits and then to get rid of some bad habits. And for here, the first things is the Wi-Fi. Yeah, Wi-Fi. I didn't bring along my Wi-Fi, so I use my phone data, and it is limited. So I actually successfully quit um, the habit of watching YouTube videos one after one in the afternoon or when I was free. Yeah, because I don't have so much data.
Mm.
Yeah, so I think this is a very physical one, which is a physical things change, and then I will do that. And the next one is the time that I go to sleep. Yeah, even though before I didn't go to sleep too late, but sometimes I also like wait until 11 p.m. or sometimes 11:15. And after moving here, I think it gives me a feeling like I got nothing to do. Yeah, it is too simple. It is just a table and then internet. I couldn't access to YouTube, I can, but I won't do that because of the limited data. Also, I
mm,
won't spend too much time on like Facebook, Instagram also. Yeah, and I actually found that I'm more efficient, and
mm,
I also found that after moving here, I have more time. Yeah, because
mm,
sometimes I'm just walking around the house. Previously, maybe sit down to play with my niece, and then maybe sit down to watch the TV for a while, or maybe go around to look for what is some delicious things in the kitchen. But right now, all of these unnecessary things doesn't appear anymore.
mm. Yeah.
Mm,
So when you need to like teach your student online,
mm.
build a Zoom, you go back to your house, right, to use the internet.
Actually, right now, starting from this year, we start to go to the physical location already.
Oh, mm,
Mm,
I see.
yep.
Yeah. Mm, yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. This is a good one, and I think yeah, and changing the physical locations, it definitely uh I also have the same feeling. It can like because the queue is totally changed, have totally changed, and then you in Atomic Habit you also learn that you want to you want to like kind of like I don't know how to describe. I forget how the author described this thing, but the main point is change the habit is more easier to break the habits because of the cue. Yeah, and you can change the cue, and and you can hide the cue, and then and then uh, cover it. Yeah, and it's
mm,
better for you. Uh, yeah, I mean, okay. For breaking a habit, for breaking a habit, uh, you hide the cue, and then you cover it, and then you don't want to see it. You avoid the chance to get into the action, the loop, the habit loop, and it is
mm,
more easier to resist the habit you always perform. Yeah, I think this is what the author trying to say. Yeah,
mm.
yeah.
Yep.
So that means you if you want to build a habit or if you want to break a habit, it doesn't matter. Okay, first thing, and then the second thing is when you want to break a habit, you don't resist it. Yeah, you don't resist the 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 thing you always doing in the past. What you do is you change something. Maybe you
Mm,
maybe you hide the cue. You don't want to see it, or
yeah.
maybe you make it more difficult. Maybe uh you understand the your desire, and then try to find other thing can suit your desire more and better, and you can change the habit or make it unsatisfying. So you break the habit. Mm,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yep.
So that's mean you move to a new location, and then you kind of like give yourself a chance to reform the cue, to reform your habit, and you you experience less difficulty to resist your old habits. Yeah.
Mm, yes. Yeah. And deal with habit. Just now you say we don't resist the habit. Is it something like we don't use our willpower
Willpower.
to
Yeah. Correct.
mm, yep, to like don't think of it. There is no use, right? Once you
Mm,
use your willpowers, and then maybe one day you are tired, you are exhausted, maybe you in a not in a good mood, and then you will actually kind of like have a spike, right? And then do the
mm,
things you want to do it. Like for example, you don't want to eat cheesecake. You use you use your willpower, and
mm,
maybe until one day your that is a bad days for you, and maybe you will find that. eating cheesecake can help you uh, to make you happy or what. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So have you invite your girlfriends comes to your new house already?
Yeah, no. Yeah,
Not
because
yet.
actually, no, I think it's a no.
Oh.
Because it is actually quite inconvenient. I think she's not going to get used to the environment here. For example, firstly, I need to cook. I need to cook the drinking water. I need to boil the water by my own. Previously in my house, we have the kind of like the drinking water machine, and then
Mm,
we can get the ready hot water. And right now I have to plan when I need to use the hot water and then I need to boil the water. This
mm,
is the first. Second is the the bathroom. The bathroom, yeah, the bathroom actually is outside the building. Yeah, it is like we have a door and then we need to open the door, go outside, and then take a shower. Yeah, it is outside. And
mm,
then next, it is kind of like the place is quite old, so it is like you may think it is not clean or what. Yep. And also, if you go outdoor, there is a lot of mosquito. Yeah. So and also, I wash my clothes by my own right now, and then I also have to dry them and then hang them under the sun. uh, Actually, this is giving me more work loss, but I think actually I have more free time. I don't know why. Maybe previously I really uh, spend my time in the things like watching YouTubes or TVs or walking around doing nothing. Yep. So
mm.
it's really inconvenient. I think she maybe she will come for a few days, and maybe after that she want to move back.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I'm not talking about invite her to live together with you. Yeah,
Hmm.
maybe it's
Oh yeah,
too. Yeah,
I
this is
misunderstand.
mm. Yeah. So, but maybe she can come and look around. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think overall is a good thing. And
Hmm.
also, I miss a, moving out. Yeah, moving out and live by yourself. Overall is a good thing. It may kind of like the cultivate the independence. Cultivate the independence. Yeah. And okay, the second thing is uh I have a question, which is I remember previously you say to me that your girlfriend actually has one flat, right? It's
Hmm.
also quite near
Yeah.
to your house, but why
Hmm.
uh uh okay, I think the reason you live in the container is not because you want to move out from your house. I think this is not the main reason. I
Hmm.
think maybe the reason is just now you already mentioned is that you want to keep safety because you travel a lot.
Hmm.
Yeah, and also maybe you just want to experience. Yeah, you are not really want to move out from the house. You just want to maybe have more times and change the environment a little bit and then
Hmm.
experience some new thing. Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Is my interpretations right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Mm,
Exactly.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, and hmm, yeah, interesting. And okay, about the personality, and do you think this is a short-term thing or long-term thing? Because here it's actually mentioned the environment account for approximately 50 to 70% of personality, and yeah, the
Hmm.
personality is okay. First thing is, do you think personality can be changed?
I think yes.
Hmm.
Yes. Maybe
I
it
also
needs
think.
sometimes, but human actually is uh quite flexible. We can actually adapt to new things, new culture, new place more easily than we think, than we expect.
Yeah, even though when you have grown up, it's also it's also feasible and applicable to change our personality.
Mm.
Mm,
Yep, I
yeah,
also think so.
yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
Mm.
So
So,
yeah, this is
mm,
something like the growth mindset versus the fixed mindset. Fixed mindset, that means something that you have go through cannot be changed. For example, the personality you have formed uh, below a certain age, maybe a
mm,
15th or maybe 20, yeah, it is something already fixed your life. I don't think so. I think we still can change.
mm.
Mm.
Yep. Because just now we also talk about something like the mental environment. So I think if you talk about age, I think age is not something that really uh, uh, make a difference.
Mm.
Yeah, maybe you have this personality for a longer time, let's say 20 years, 30 years, it still can be changed. But maybe it's you take longer time than a personality that you have just formed for 5 months. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely is like that.
Yeah, and it reminds me one thing that I learned from a book, the book called the Brain. Yeah. Um, and I only read the one or two chapter, and it something very interesting in that book. In that book, I think it's in chapter one, and it say that when we are baby, we the neuron in our brain isn't linking together, and after we grow up,
Mm,
just maybe when we 5 months 5 months baby, or maybe 1 years or 2 years, and our brain, the neuron in our brain, expanding very very fast, growing very very fast. It
yeah,
can be
explosionary.
yeah, it could be every day up. It can every day a trillion, more than a trillion new neuron grow, and yeah, and it keep growing, keep growing, and then until a certain until a age, maybe
Mm,
7 or maybe 8.
yeah.
I forget the age. I forget whether it's below 10 or above 10.
Mm,
Uh, and also your brain and the neuron initially they'll try to link as much as possible. They'll try to link together with each other as much as possible,
mm,
and you'll see like a net. Yeah. And but after sometimes, maybe after like 10 years old, and then you will find that the linking become some linking will just unlink, and some linking will become stronger and stronger.
mm,
And you can see something like the vision. If you try to visualize the things initially, it is like the spider web. Yeah,
mm,
initially it's a spider web, and then after some time it's like some of the part of the spider web have been break, and it turns
mm,
out uh, there's a big hole. Yeah, there's a big hole in the middle, or but at the side, maybe at the side, yeah, it's unstructured, and at some place the 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 spider net is stick together.
mm,
I'm not sure whether you can visualize, you can imagine something like that. Yeah, but this is how our brain neuron. This is yeah, uh, s- uh, uh, can be visualized, can be seen
yeah.
physically. If you do the maybe like the CT scan or brain scan, you can see something like that. And after
Mm,
we grow up, some of the linking will become stronger and stronger, and but most of the link will just become weaker and weaker and unlinked.
mm,
So it is similar to initially we learn a lot of things. We learn as many as possible. We learn so many things, but after grow up, we start to forget those things. But we start to specialize something really, really great, really, really well. We can do really, really well, and we have a very, very deep understanding. Yeah. And so the author say that human, when a boy or a girl turns to a man or a woman, this is a process. What I want to say is how we become ourselves, what things shape us. Okay, it's not about the learning. It's not about the thing we learn. What I want to say is okay, it's not about the information shape us, and it's not about we learn a lot of things. We learn a lot of things, and then we shape ourselves. It's not. It's actually big. It's the real. What shape you is not what you remember. Okay, what shape you is not what you remember, but what shape you is what you forget.
Yeah, I get
Forget
it.
something. Yeah, you forget something, and then but some of the memory is very, very strong. Some of your skill, your knowledge is very, very strong, and that is a part shape you. It's not something that the neuron don't have any link shape you. It's not. If you want to say which one is you, you will say the ones which is the neuron which have a very, very strong linking. That is you. Yeah, those things shape you, and it's not something absent shape you. Yeah. So when we grow up, and then we start to forget things, it's something like we chip away the stone. We chip away the stone, and then at the end it becomes a very, very beautiful art. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It is like focus on something, prioritize on the things that maybe your brain think is important, or other reason maybe you like it or what, right?
Yeah, and it reminds me something. One of the story which is a commander asked Michelangelo. I'm not sure whether I pronounce it correctly, but this is you can say one of the best artists in the history, Michelangelo. And then the commander asked Michelangelo, which how you build this, which is kind of like the 雕像, which is a stone art. Yeah, and how you build this?
Statue or statue? I
What?
forget.
What?
Something like statue or statue. I forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, the meaning of 雕像.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the commander asked, and then the Michelangelo answered that I didn't build it. I see a stone here, and then I imagine, and then I see the stone art inside the stone, and then I just chip away the excess part of the stone, and then it become a stone art. Yeah, so I think this is a story. This is an analogy which is well expressed, well explained. How we shape ourselves, and also if you talk about the environment, is also I think it's the same. Yeah, it's the environment reinforce you and make something stronger, make increase your belief. Yeah, increase your belief, and then you become more focused in one particular things, become more narrow. You become more narrow, and it become yourself. It become you.
Yeah. Yeah. For here, I think one thing is which is quite missed out by me is the mental environment, and I think for here also we cannot forget the importance of who you deal with. Something like your circle, right? The people that you get around with. Yeah. Also, there are the environment which can affect us mentally.
Yeah. 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 So totally agree. And yeah, I have nothing to add in.
Yep. And previously, I said I missed out the mental part. Yeah, I kind of like didn't put it in very important way. And then right now, if I put together physical, mental, I think 50 to 70%, yeah, is kind of like uh, not it's kind of like very
Quite
logical to
fair,
me.
right? Yeah,
Yeah,
quite
yeah,
fair.
fair.
It didn't like overestimate or
Mm,
overstate something.
yeah. All right. So yeah, actually, this topic I also want to mention again, which is the importance of environment. And uh, if you want to make a change, think about environment. And if you don't want to make a change, also think about environment, because you are in a particular environment and you are kind of like in a circle. Yeah, you keep enforcing the same maybe habit circle. Um, that things actually is already affecting you every second. Yep. So we can think of using new environment as an approach to make a change, and also maybe sometime we need to think about the effects of the environment that is which is currently around you and how it shaped you. Yeah.
Mm,
So this is just what I want to mention.
yeah, and yeah, uh it it add like one new point to me, and which
Hmm.
is this is a question to you. Do you think that once can create once one can create an environment without without involvement of other people, and that environment is only you? Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm,
Um, without, yeah, yeah, of course, we can, let's say the physical one is,
mm,
of course, we can create,
mm,
and the mental one also. For example, you, like you said, we subscribe to some YouTube channel, we
mm.
uh, read some books, and the action that you do actually can create the environment also mentally.
Yeah. If you want to learn a new language, let's say maybe English. Assume English is not your first language, and you can try to read the English book. You can try to
Mm,
read English article. You can try to watch English YouTube video. Yeah,
mm,
you just
yeah,
you just immerse into English every day,
mm,
and
yeah.
then yeah. So this is also environment.
Mm. Yeah, your
Mm,
phone setting, change the
mm,
language to English, or
yeah.
very old method, which is like to buy newspaper, yeah, English newspaper every day. Yeah,
Mm.
this is an old method.
Yeah,
Mm.
and
And
also
radio also.
and also one of the psychology weapons that I learned from one book, which is a very important book for to me, the influence. Okay, I'm not sure which it is called influence or influence, but yeah, sorry, I think it's called influence. Yeah,
Yeah, when it is a
influence.
noun.
Yeah, yeah, and this is my very first psychology book. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, and I'm so lucky, yeah, to read uh this book as my first psychology book. And inside this, there are few psychological weapons, and one of them is kind of like promise. I forget the actual terms, but the idea is something like the promise. Yeah, when you promise to something, and
mm,
then you are likely to be consistent. Okay, I think the term should be consistent, but promise can make you more consistently. Yeah,
mm,
you tend to do what you have said. Yeah, so this is
mm,
also similar to the ABC: attitude, behavior, uh, cognitive. method. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, so first thing is it remind me few things. The first is be yourself, because you shouldn't let your talk, which is the environment you created for yourself, change you. Yeah. You need to concern about it. You need to conscious about it. Yeah. Try to use the environment as a tool, as a weapon to help you, not to like create an obstacle to you. And the second is you can promise yourself in whatever way you can do something, you can take action and let people see you. And even though people see you, you see yourself. Self-perception theory. You reinforce the action you keep doing. Yeah. And yeah, it also kind of like create environment, right? Because you tend to be consistent.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's all for my sharing, for my talking. Anything on to add in?
Yeah, I think also these are all about the things that I want to talk today.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, see you tomorrow.
Yeah. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.